Welcome to Daily Grind. Have you ever heard about that time a Navy captain said, "Hold my beer," and stole a submarine? Let's get into it. Let's go! On June 4th, 1944, the U.S. Navy captured German submarine U-505. Captain Daniel C. Gallery led this little stunt with the escort carrier USS Guadalcanal. 5 destroyer escorts. The carrier and these destroyers made up what's called a hunter-killer group, which is exactly what it sounds like. They hunted and killed Nazi submarines. U-505 was detected by sonar, and after being depth charged...
At 11:21, the destroyer makes a depth charge attack. All ships are at battle stations.
The U-boat's rudder got all messed up. Its auxiliary rudder controls weren't working, and the aft compartments on the U-boat started to flood. The boat surfaced and started to take on naval gunfire from this hunter-carrier group.
Firing away all boarding parties.
Convinced the U-boat was going to sink, the commanding officer, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, I look stupid enough, ordered his crew to abandon ship. Because they were abandoning ship, they were ordered to scuttle the boat, or intentionally sink it so that any shit on the boat can't fall into enemy hands. Here's where the amazing part happens. While the Nazi crew was being picked up by the Americans, this guy up here, Captain Daniel M. Gallery, said, "I don't think that boat's gonna sink. Hold my beer." A boarding party was sent out by the USS Pillsbury.
Away all boarding parties. The sub's rudder is jammed, and she is running in a tight circle to the right. But the planes are all set to open up if she makes a false move. This is it. For the first time since 1815, the United States Navy boards a foreign enemy man of war on the high seas.
The boarding party was led by Lieutenant Junior Grade Elbert L. David. The boarding party went on the U-boat and secured some sensitive documents and items on the submarine, such as the Enigma coding machine that was allowing the German Navy to communicate in secret. The boarding party also succeeded in making sure the boat didn't sink. They disarmed scuttling charges, and they succeeded in closing scuttling valves. Let's think about that for a minute. This U-boat was so fucked, its own crew, who lives on and is trained to repair and operate this submarine, said, "Well, fuck it, let's just sink it and surrender." No, it's fucked. The crew members who made up the first boarding party from the USS Pillsbury went to work using small pumps to pump the water out of the U-boat.
But Lieutenant David and his boys find the cover, slap it back in place, and secure it just in time. A few minutes more and it would have been too late. The inrush of water is checked. Each man has a different job to do, has rehearsed it for months. And now that the chips are down, they come through.
Nowadays, it's like pics or didn't happen. The USS Guadalcanal also sent out a boarding party. And they sent a photographer with them because, even back then, pics or it didn't happen.
Here's the hand-picked boarding party of the Guadalcanal. Let's meet some of them. Chief photographer's mate, Clifford Werla. His job will be to get inside the sub, take pictures of all installations in case she cannot be kept afloat.
While he was taking his pictures, the rest of the boarding party was fixing the boat, getting the engine going, recharging batteries, and getting the submarine on a tow line to the USS Guadalcanal. crew of the U-505 U-boat was loaded onto the USS Chatterleen. Look at this one guy. He's like, fuck.
Dude, the fuck? Fuck, dude, the fuck!
After all this bullshit, U-505 was hooked up to a tow line to the USS Guadalcanal and towed to Bermuda.
On June 19th, the U-505 was towed into Bermuda, and there remains as a prize of war, one less wolf to hunt with the pack.
After leaving Bermuda, it was taken to the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where U.S. Navy studied it. In 1954, the U.S. Coast Guard towed U-505 from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, over 3,000 miles, going through 28 locks on the St. Lawrence Seaway and navigating 4 out of the 5 U.S. Great Lakes. It was brought to Chicago, taken out of Lake Michigan, transported overland to the Museum of Science and Industry, where it still is today for people to go look at. What a wild story. I'll see you next time here on Daily Grind.